everyone, it's Bethany, and in this video I'm going to be making a really sweet little pumpkin sign. And I love having just little tiny bits of decoration here and there around my home, and I thought that this idea would make for a really cute piece of decor to kick off the fall season. So I am going to be using this wooden base, and this is actually from Hobby Lobby. It comes looking like this. So it comes in the natural wood section. You can purchase it for about $4.49, and I have used this quite a few times, and I've always used it this way. But for this project, I thought it would be fun to flip it and then just paint the interior and use the outside as a natural wood and have it be a nice little frame. So I thought it would be really, really cute that way. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to use this really neat metal pumpkin, and I got this at Joanns. I ordered it from them, and it's really, really sweet. I'm going to be placing it within the little frame here, and I'm going to be using some foam adhesive dots because it helps to raise it up and give it more of a dimensional effect instead of placing it straight down inside of there. And then I'm going to use my Cricut Joy to place a little vinyl saying on front of that little metal. I thought that would be really sweet. So for materials, it's the wood. It is also a little metal pumpkin, and I believe this was only a couple dollars. I can't quite remember, but really, really cheap to use. And then I also have my measuring tape just to measure out my little space for my pumpkin, which I'll do in just a moment, a weeding tool, some scissors, my little foam adhesive dots, and then also some transfer tape. Oh, and I also need to grab a little bit of white vinyl. So I'm going to go to my vinyl scrap bin, and if you guys don't know how I store my scraps, then I'll place a link to a tutorial because it really helps me save as much material as I can, because I can go quickly to my storage solution, find the color I need, and then move on. So it's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to grab that as well, and then we will use the Joy to cut it out. So before we head into design space, I will go ahead and grab our sweet little question of the day, which we've been having so much fun with. And today, I want you to hop down into the comments and say, what is the first craft you did on your cutting machine? That is going to be really fun to hear. So please make sure you tell me in the comment section what your first craft is that you did on your cutting machine, and I'll be sure to answer this as well as I craft today. All right, let's go ahead and measure this sweet little pumpkin. I'm going to go ahead and grab my measuring tape, and I have about, I'm just going to be measuring the base of the pumpkin, not including the stem, but I have about 3 inches by 4 inches to work with. Let's hop into design space. I'm going to do a little design and show you how to find it, and we'll get it cut out, placed on the pumpkin, place everything together, and I'll show you what this is going to turn out like.
Okay, so here we are in Cricut Design Space, and I am just going to create a little square that will show me my little 3x4 area that I have to work with. So I am just going to come up to the width and say 4 inches, and then I have my height just at about 3 inches. So that's just about right. That looks fine. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so we can see, and then I can make this a nice copper color, which is going to be our little orange pumpkin. So I'll just make this a nice copper color so you can kind of get an idea of how we are designing this. Okay, and then I'm going to come over to images, and I'm going to search autumn. So I'm going to type in autumn to our little search bar, and a million little results come up, 160, and I'm going to go ahead and scroll down, and I really like this autumn blessings. So I'm going to go ahead, click that, say insert images, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to contour. I'm going to drag that down, come over to contour. It's the bottom right button in the right hand side of the screen. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to remove the leaf part of it. It's really pretty, but it's just going to be a little too crowded in my opinion on my pumpkin. So I'm just going to remove that and keep the autumn blessings. Exit out. Then I'm going to come up and drag this over here. I'm going to make this a nice white color, and then I'm going to size this down just a little bit so that it's not too big on my little base here. So we are at about 3.5 inches by 1.5 inches. So I'm going to measure behind the scenes on my little pumpkin. And I might skinny that up just a little bit. So I might do something like this, just so it's not so crowded width-wise. And I think that is going to look really good. So now we're more at 1.5 by 3 inches, and I think that is going to be perfect. So now I can go ahead and take this orange piece, I can hide it, and I'm gonna only cut out my white piece on some white vinyl. So I'm gonna go up here, I'm gonna switch it to the Joy, and I'm gonna say make it. I am going to say that I'm gonna place this on a mat because I went to my scrap bin and I found a little piece of Oracle vinyl that I'm going to use. So I'm gonna say on the mat so I can use any material that I'd like. Click continue, and it's gonna locate my Joy, and I can go ahead and place my material on my mat. And then I will go ahead and use the premium vinyl setting. So I'll load my mat and get this cut out, and we will get crafting.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I found the exact size that I need. I have a perfect little piece. So this is a great project for scrap vinyl. I'm going to place this right on my mat. And again, this is the Oracle 651 vinyl. So this is a perfect little piece that we can use for this project. And I'm going to auto load my mat, and then it's just going to make sure everything's aligned, and then we can select go to get cutting. Okay, so this is all done, so I can go ahead and remove this little piece of vinyl from my cutting mat. And then what I like to do is turn it over to the other side and just get it really pressed down before I get it weeded. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a little corner right here and slowly begin weeding out the pieces of my design that I do not want on my final project. So for me, it's easiest to start with this background layer, okay? And then I'm going to go through and get all my little middles of my letters. So this little A, and then the B for blessings. And I'll just go through each one and make sure all those little middles are weeded out. Okay, so we are all set. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a little piece of my transfer tape, and I have some left over from another project, just the right size. So I'm going to go ahead and trim the little piece that I need, saving the rest for yet another project that I can do. I'm going to grab a little piece of it and lay it right over my design here. And once that's on there, I'm going to take my scraper and really scrape this down. Okay, and then I'm going to flip it over and do the same to the back as well. Okay, now what I did with my little pumpkin is I went and put some foam adhesive dots on there, but the little piece of backer is still on there, so it's not quite sticky yet because you have to peel off another side of it. So I'm going to turn this over just like this, and then I'm going to take my vinyl and I'm going to pull it away from that cutting mat, leaving it on the transfer tape. Okay, so we are good to go. I am going to center this the best that I can on my little pumpkin here. Okay, and that looks good to my eye. And then I'm just going to press it down in the middle, press it to the sides, and then I'll grab my scraper tool and just do a light little press over the top of that. Now, the metal is a little thin, so you don't want to do too rough if you have your stickies on the back already, because you don't want to bend it, but it can withstand a little bit of pressure. Okay, and then I'm just going to go ahead and take my little side. Whoops, one piece didn't quite get down. I'll go slowly and make sure everything is laying down. Looks good. Okay, so that looks great. Now I can save this piece once again. So I like to keep my little carrier sheets to the side. I'll save this, and I'll save this for another project. Okay, so now what I can do is I can flip my little pumpkin over, and you can put it on your wooden base any way that you would like to. I really like the foam adhesive dot option because it allows you to raise it up and give it a dimensional effect, and it's a really effective adhesive in my opinion. I've done this before and it really sticks really, really well. So again, you can do it however you'd like, but I do think this is a good option. Also, this looks like it's called metal or Fallcraft Metal Shape. It looks like it was $1.99 now that I'm looking at the back, just in case you wanted to try and find it. Looks like the brand is Place and Time. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and turn this around, bring my little base in here, and I will just center this the best that I can. Looks like right about there, looks good to me, and I'll just press down and we're all done. It's so sweet and so cute. I love it. And I love that there are so many different elements. I love that there's the metal, and then I love that there's the wood. I think it's just really nice, and I think it's going to make a really fun little fall piece. Okay, so what was the question today? Oh, the first thing that I made on my Cricut. The first thing I made on my Cricut was actually a vinyl project, just similar to this. I actually have little tiny snack containers for my kiddos, and when I first got my Cricut, it was back to school season, so I made a little name decal that said my daughter's name on the top of it, and I placed it on her little snack container, and it turned out really cute, and it really set the tone for the rest of my crafting, because as soon as you see your first project turn out really good, you're just addicted. So all right, everyone, that was a little tangent, but I forgot to answer the question, and I wanted to get that snuck in there really quick. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please be sure to give me a thumbs up if you think this is really cute. Let me know if you're starting to craft for fall. I'd love to hear what you're crafting, and stay tuned because Halloween crafts are coming up. I'm so excited to show you guys. I just recorded a couple of them, and you guys are going to love them. They turned out so cute. All right, everyone, I will see you on the next video, and be sure to leave me a comment and tell me what you think. All right, everyone, see you later.